For years now, logging the last of our ancient forests has been highly controversial. And here in Atl'ka7tsem Howe Sound, just outside Vancouver, the community's always fought proposals to log the provincial lands on the islands of the Sound. In spite of this, for years there's been a provincial woodlot on the southwest corner of Gambier Island, or Chá7elkwnech as it's known by the Squamish peoples. Recently, that provincial woodlot operation started cutting in a new watershed, with plans to log right through a creek much loved by locals. So, Tim and I are heading over to take a look. We've arrived at West Bay on Chá7elkwnech. Right beside the public dock is the mouth of Whispering Creek. The controversial logging is up in its headwaters. It's been a really dry April, so the stream's flow is way down. But, small as it looks now, the creek has a healthy salmon run in the fall. 10 minutes later, we're on a trail heading up Whispering Creek, towards the new logging area. The forest around us has a scatter of ancient trees. And some areas are just dripping with moss. Giant cedar stumps hearken to the first loggers 130 years ago. It's an amazing thing, but a big forest like this exudes a sort of damp comfort. Big, old, stable. Sounds get muffled. The trail weaves in and around fallen giants.
Yeah, Whispering Creek is right here.
The trail route's been high above the creek, but at a point we hear it below. So we head down. Because of the dry spring, Whispering Creek runs low, but crystal clear. Forest creeks have a delicate magic, and Whispering Creek has its share. We watch water striders skate on the quiet waters.
So we're here where Maple Trail crosses Whispering Creek, and you can see, looking upstream, Whispering Creek cuts right through the proposed cut block, which is right on top of the creek.
Above us we can see an old clear cut, part of the provincial woodlot operation, that is just outside the Whispering Creek watershed. So we head that way to take a look. Walking the clear cut jars me, even this one that's had 7 years to heal. Most painful is that this is all ministry approved. This is the state of logging practice in BC. If there's a consolation, it's that at least this cut was on gently sloping lands not prone to erosion and well back from any creek. We pick up the freshly built road into the new ministry approved cut block. Today work is on pause and all's quiet.
Where are we? We're right there at that corner.
Road building is such a raw process. The land just has to be ripped up to do it. But this is how we do logging in BC. And clear-cut logging too is a brutal process. Not only are the trees and their rich canopy life destroyed, but the heavy equipment deeply scars the forest understory and soil.
Okay, it looks like well over 200 years. Doug fir dropped right here at the edge of the cut block. Whispering Creek just over here. Looks like Captain George Vancouver arriving in Howe Sound right here. This will go, all of these will go right in the cut block here.
So we head into the forest that's soon to be cut and towards Whispering Creek.
This is it. This is the upper headwaters of Whispering Creek. This is all cut block. We've got a little buffer wedge that's protected right here. This big cedar, that cedar, that's it. That's the buffer. All of that's going to go, and all of that's going to go. So I'm in the main channel of Whispering Creek. And we've got this little tributary that is coming in from the north. So all these trees are going to get cut and dragged across Whispering Creek. No protection through here for the creek. All these big trees are gone. And the creek is right here. There's no setback at all.
The far side of the creek is a steep slope with old-growth giant fir. An owl hoot reveals a barred owl way up in the canopy. It's a great grove of giants.
All these big ones are going to go. And everything down there as well. And you know, when you cut trees on slopes like this, a ton of stuff is going to end up in the creek. Not a thing they can do about it.
So, we've seen enough. But there are things we know. The logging that's proposed is just wrong. That it might be legal by ministry standards makes no difference. It's still wrong. It's wrong to cut right through a creek. It's wrong to build roads on steep slopes right above a creek. And it's wrong to cut ancient forests when so little ancient forest is left. We pause to take some last looks at the creek. Tim catches sight of the little water striders again. And we visit a magical waterfall. A frog lives in its damp shadows, and a towhee probes for seeds. We know that whatever happens upstream will affect the creek all the way to the ocean. All this beauty and vitality is at risk. So, what now? Logging ancient forests and not protecting streams is an old, failing way of doing business. We so need a new way forward. Whispering Creek is on the front lines now, but we need to do better throughout Atl'ka7tsem Howe Sound and right around British Columbia. We know the Gambier Island Conservancy has a petition to halt the old-growth logging in Whispering Creek, so we'll get behind them. And we'll join My Sea to Sky's letter-writing campaign to the BC government. Those are our next steps. But we really need a public groundswell on this. These last remnants of our ancient forests are the cathedrals of our coast. We will just be so much poorer with them gone. There just has to be a better way.